Welcome to Shiny Tree Trash. Today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable little pom-pom bears. Okay, so we have Mummy Bear and we have Baby Bear. But unfortunately we don't have no Daddy Bear. So I have got the bug officially. I am addicted to pom-pom making. So today I'm going to show you how to make these fantastic cute little bears, pom-pom bears that are felted, and we'll make Daddy Bear together. Okay, so to make Daddy Bear, we are going to need our pom-pom maker. So this is the one from Clover that I purchased from Amazon. There is a previous video if you're interested in how to make basic pom-poms, and also there is one in the pipeline that is comparing this branded Clover Pom Pom maker against pom-pom makers from Wish. Okay, you are going to need the pom-pom maker then. You are going to need a yarn for the face of the bear, the yarn for the muzzle, the area here for the bear. Then you're going to need a colour for the eyes and the nose. And I've got this as well just for this mouth area. Previously on Mummy Bear and Baby Bear I used black. So Daddy Bear is going to look a little bit different. We're going to mix up these genetics a little for Daddy Bear. So I'm going to show you how to get started. So in my video on basic pom-pom making, I described how to use the pom-pom maker. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about that at the moment. Okay, so we are going to start Daddy Bear off with the nose. Okay, so in my previous basic pom-pom making video, we talked about working from one end to the other end. This isn't applicable for this because we're going to layer it up in different colours and different orders depending on the areas that we're doing now. So we're doing the nose. We're going to wrap it about 20 times. So I've done 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so roughly about 20. You've noticed, all being well, that I just sort of piled it up on top of each other there. I wasn't trying to spread it out. Kind of hard to see that yarn, but I'm just going to tuck it under there so it's secure. So looking at the pom-pom, that's kind of the nose area. Okay, so that's where the nose is going to be. Now for the mouth area, so I'm going to choose brown for my mouth area. I'm doing it directly next to the nose, but if you imagine this is the top of the teddy bear, this is the bottom, we're just doing it underneath the nose because this is the mouth area. Bit of thick wool, so I won't need too much. I'm just layering it down a little bit because that's going to be the mouth of the bear. Okay, nip that off. And a hand technique that I described in the basic pom-pom making is rather than tying your yarn off or just hanging on to it to bind it with your next colour, is just tucking it underneath your layers of wool. Okay, so we're going to start doing the muzzle now. Okay, so the muzzle area is going to go all the way down to the bottom of the pom-pom maker and a little bit above the nose, if you can see here. It's going up, halfway up the pom-pom's face. So I'm going to take it up to about where my finger is. So I'm just going to bind that up. I'm going to go over the top of the black for the nose. I'm going to go over the top of the brown, which is the mouth area. This is quite a thinner yarn as well. You can see it's a lot finer. So I'm going to just have to bind that up. I lost my nose. Okay, so you'll have time to just concentrate, think about your tension that you're pulling on it. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want it loose. And you're just taking time, binding it up so it's a nice even coverage around. Now I'm going to just add a little bit more down here because it's a lot bulkier where the nose and the muzzle is. So we're just going to bind that up a bit. So these are really exciting, and of course there's other animals we can make. So make sure you're pressing that subscribe button to see what other animal creations we can make with our fantastic pom-poms. Okay, so I'm just adding a bit more here just to even it up back to that nose. Obviously you can practice as well and build up a feel. You might want less of a muzzle, so then you would bind less. If you want more of a muzzle, you would put on more. What's really fun about these as well is you can play with different colours. Right, I think I'm going to leave it about there. Okay, so that's our muzzle area. What we're going to do now is the top part of our bear's head. So we're going to do from the muzzle now up to the top of the pom-poms, where the ears are. I'm looking at this, I don't know if I can find the end of this yarn. Here it is. I'll put Mummy Bear there, she can wait patiently. Okay, so and just making sure I go right to the top. Sometimes that's a bit of a tricky area to get. And I'm just going to take this colour all the way back down, whoopsie daisy, to the cream of the muzzle. Going to take it over slightly as well so it just blends in. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to put too much where the colours meet because I'm going to be introducing my eyes soon. But since I've got a knot in this yarn, I think that's a good place to end it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is the two eyes on the pom-pom. So that's going to be this area here where the two colours meet. And you're going to wrap this about 10 times. And of course that depends on the thickness of your wool. The thicker you'd need less, the finer you'd need more. I've lost count how many times I've done it. So we'll give Daddy big eyes, I think. I think that should be enough. Just nip that. I threaded it. So I can just capture it under there, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do now is back to the main body, and we're going to cover the whole bear. We need to remember where the nose is, where the mouth is, where the eyes are, because we're going to need to remember which is the top. Just excuse me while I sort out this knot. Okay, so I'm introducing just the body. I'm working here just with double yarn just because I've got a knot in my cotton, but it'll just get mixed up with the fullness of the bear, so it's nothing to worry about. So I'm just going to bind over and over, remembering where your eyes are, because this is the top of my bear. I need to remember that. I like working with natural yarns more, so wools, mohairs, any sort of nice natural fibres, just because they felt better and they puff up really lovely. Obviously acrylics can do and stuff, but you don't have the same properties as you do for the natural fibres when it comes to the felting, which we are going to be doing with this little character. I think with the bears as well, that felting just makes them have like added charm. Getting a bit of a tangle here. Of course you don't have to felt them, but I think it looks nice. So if you've seen the basic pom-pom making, what we're looking for is this area to be full, to be flat with these planes. So we're getting there really. Just a bit more at this top end. I'm going to be mindful as well of not overfilling it because I want to introduce some ears. So remembering, it's like one of those magic games, isn't it? Where the thing is under the cups. Can you remember where the ears are meant to go? So I remember my eyes were here, so I'm going to introduce my ears at this point. So to do that, all I'm simply going to do is put my finger over the top of the pom-pom maker, and I'm just going to wind around my finger, and I'm going to do this probably about 20 times, because this introduces a larger pile to the rest of the pom-pom, so they'll stick up like little ears. Again, I've not been counting, but it's roughly about 20, maybe there. The more yarn you get round, obviously the fuller pom-pom you will have, the fuller the bear. So I'm just about there, I believe. squeeze my finger out, cut the end of my yarn, tuck that one under, and job's a good one. So push that into the body. This is a testing time. Yep, that fits. Push that into there, and then we're going to repeat the process now, but it's a lot simpler for the back of the bear. And obviously you could add patterns to your bear if you wanted, but I'm going to go with mummy and baby wear. They're just plain on the back. There's no speckles or spots. So I'm going to choose the main body colour, which for Daddy Bear is tan, hoping that I've got enough yarn. And this is going to be a lot quicker, a lot simpler. You're just going to wrap the whole back of your bear with the tan. So all I'm going to simply do is working from one side to the other and back again, repeatedly until my back of this pom-pom's full. How about that? Perfect amount of wool. It's like I planned it. Okay, so I'm just poking this yarn under just to try and secure it somewhat. There it is, and we push that into the body of our pom-pom maker like so. So there's our ears. And that's our Daddy Bear. So we need to now cut the yarn, and again for detailed instructions you can see my basic pom-pom making video, which will be linked in this series once they're all complete. I just want to say as well, there will be different videos coming out. I'm just waiting for a special little person by the name of Laura. Hello Laura. I know Laura is very keen on seeing this video, and I'm hoping she's going to give me heads up which animal she wants to see next. So we'll wait on Laura for that one. There's the ears. So with me using small scissors, I just find going through a couple of yarns at a time. I'm not trying to dig to the bottom straight away, just going through the uppermost layer and inching my way along. It does get easier as you get deeper down. There we go, through there. And this is a really magical part. This is where you start to see your little creature, whatever the little critter is, just so that's to magically appear. Here he is, he's coming. So those are the eyes. There's the nose and the mouth. So you can start to see the little features are already there, which is cute. And it's good to see because you can start to work out how you can start to form your own designs by understanding the concept of how the pom-pom grows, is made. So that's what I'm actually doing now. I'm starting to think of designs and things I can do. So I've been looking at owls and birds and the alphabet. So if any of those sound interesting, give me a thumbs up or comments below, because those could be videos that can be linked to this series. But be warned, there should be a warning with this video and all pom-pom videos. They do become massively addictive, which is the fun, but yeah, you might drive people insane talking and singing about pom-poms all day long. I think I need a bigger and better pair of scissors. Okay, so next stage is to run a yarn through here. I don't recommend using wool because it's happened to me where I've used the wool and then I've pulled on it and it just gives way. So I've been using this heavy gauge yarn. I don't know if it's a cotton or a linen, but it's actually a bookbinding thread that's got like wax, beeswax wrapped around it. And what's quite useful about this is that it gives you some traction, so it doesn't slip and it kind of holds onto itself, so you can really tie it tight. So I'm twisting it around once, trying to pull it tight, wrapping that yarn around again. So for a successful pom-pom, what's best is that you can tie it as tight as possible, so it'll keep all those fibres that are now loose because you cut through them, keep them tight in the middle, and it'll make your pom-pom puff up even more. So I've wrapped that around twice and I've pulled it as tight as I can. I've just done a simple knot. You can, for safety and peace of mind, wrap it again. Again, what's nice is with this wax you can feel it kind of grip into itself. I'm going to pull that and I'm going to knot that a couple of times. And then we're on to the next stage of our little bear. We've made the pom-pom, but he's not finished. He needs a groom and some tender care. I'm happy with that. I like to leave the length of my string on, just so then I've got the option of hanging them or threading them somewhere. But you could, if you wanted, to cut them off and they're not visible. So you take the sides off of your pom-poms by opening the wings on each side. And there is Daddy Bear. Okay, so the next stage, it's cute. Give him a little tussle. Say welcome home, Daddy Bear. The next stage is he needs some preening. He needs trimming and look at his little face. He needs a bit of care. So we'll go through that detail now. Okay, so this stage you are going to need some scissors, and if you have it, quite a firm sponge and a felting needle. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just showing you Mummy Bear. So Mummy Bear, as you can see, has this sort of profile where there's a forehead, there's the muzzle with the nose at the end, and then it comes round into that sort of shape. So that's what we're going to try and do now. We're going to cut into it. So we want to leave the nose area kind of intact. We're going to give it a little trim, but we really need to start to take out this area and around here. And you'll probably find that you just keep on preening and titivating these beautiful bears, if you're anything like me, that is. So I've just got a little mat here just to collect the cuttings, and I would strongly recommend less. Just do little bits, keep assessing, keep looking, and then you can always take more off, but you can't add it back on. So that's my top tip for this section. So I'm just going straight into the eye area, and I want to just sink these eyes in a little. And doing this as well just sort of makes them look stronger, because it's more dense towards the centre of the pom-pom. So by cutting off these ends, it just makes it look denser. So I'm just cutting into the eye. Okay, so now I'm looking at this forehead. I'll just put Mummy on the side so you can see. I'm going to start just working into this forehead a little. So just a little unsteady. Key thing is not to do anything with the ears. You want those ears intact. Really do need some new scissors. So I'd say you could give yourself easy, if you wanted an hour doing this. You know, don't rush it. So what we might do, the power of technology, is just fast forward bits of this, so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but obviously fast forward to the end results. So you can start to see already that he's looking a lot smarter there. Started to introduce a bit of the shape. It's just a matter of doing that all over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the felting tool. What we're wanting to do is just sort of felt this nose up. So that's my nose area, that's my mouth. And all you're doing with the felting tool is just sort of stabbing it in. And the felting needle has little barbs on it, and those barbs just knit the fibres together by pushing them through different layers, and it just starts to lock them in place. So it gives you the ability to sculpt the pom-pom. If you do get into needle felting, you can buy wool tops, and then you could use these also. So wool tops are basically just like dyed fluff. It's wool. It's like the fleece of the wool that's been combed, and it's been dyed. It's been processed. But it's the fibres, and then you can use those fibres just to add tones. So Mummy and Baby Bear have little tongues, and that's through just wool tops put within the nose area to create those cute little tongues. Now I've made a mistake here in that this is looks like a, I'm not sure if it's cotton or acrylic, but it's not felting, isn't the cream yarn. I changed my mind at the last minute. This tan was going to be the muzzle, and I was going to go for a dark brown chocolate bear. But the last moment before filming, I decided no, we'll make him tan. So he looks like he belongs to his family more. But again, as all my videos, it's all about experimentation. There's no right and wrong. As long as you're enjoying yourself and you're being creative, it doesn't matter. So all I'm doing is drawing all these cream fibres towards the mouth area, just to heighten it up. And I'm just stabbing through into the cushion. This takes time, so you'll be at this, if you are patient, for a while. So the mouth area, I'm just going to try and split that up. I'm going to have that going down that way and splitting it across there, and the nose is up here. I'm sort of splitting it into 4 really, 2 going that way. That's going to be his mouth. That's where, if I was going to introduce a tongue, I'd put that tongue in there. And these are the cheek bits. I don't know what it's called on a bear. What's that bit called? Any smarty pants out there, you can leave me a comment. And the nose is going up this way. That's my nose. So I got some wool tops somewhere. I'm just going to fish them out. Okay, so these are the wool tops that I was talking about. I've got some different colours here that I'm going to introduce, just because I haven't got a wool fibre for the muzzle area. I'm just going to introduce a bit of that, just so I can capture the fibres together. There's his little tongue. You can have a little tongue, match his family. So I'm introducing black wool tops to the nose, again just because I've not used a wool for the nose. I've used a chenille yarn, so that is not going to felt, and I want to get that sort of tight button nose. So you might be able to see here that I'm just kind of fishing the black fibres to the front, away from the muzzle area. Just so I can try and control the shape of the nose more. Doesn't matter if you don't, it's just the way I'm working. And this is where they build the little characters up, so you can really sculpt them. You can add things as well, like beads for eyes. You could add whiskers. So you can really start to bring these things to life. Apologies if you can't see very well with holding it down, but pulling it to the camera and doing it, I mean, I'm probably going to stab myself. He's looking like a little doggy. So that's the thing, you start to see different little characters coming into play. With Mummy and Baby Bear there, I could see both them as like little terriers or little poodles. So a dog may be coming your way shortly as a video. So I'm just again felting these sides, and then I'm going to bring them back into the center, so that starts to create my little mouth area, and then we'll just pull them together by felting through. And then what I'm going to work on now is some of this cream area with my white wool tops, just to kind of knot them in place, because with this being a I don't know what it is, acrylic or cotton, it's not felting. So I'm going to need a bit more of a trim, so I'm going to go back and do that before introducing the white wool tops. So the ears I've just felted, and as I've gone around, I've just tried to fold the outer edge back in on top of the ear to give that round effect. And I've just carried on felting, pushing my felting needle through to lock those fibres then in place. If you wanted to make them bigger or bulkier, I'd recommend using your trimmings here, the wool, and you can add that. So you can pinch them as well, so you could add a bit of pink if you wanted, and then you could needle felt them from the sides if you wanted them kind of curled up. So just look at your bear and just keep playing. As I said, you can be at this for ages. I'm still looking at this now and seeing a St. Bernard, so he needs a bit of a trim. You might make your bear and actually decide he's not a bear at all, he's a dog. I tend to leave back until the end, just get him shaped right at the front. So I want a nice little round cute face, so I'm just getting rid of some of that sort of shagginess that was screaming dog to me. So this is a therapeutic bit, but I could imagine this could be quite frustrating, thinking, where is my bear in all this fluff? But you know, just keep squidging your bear, keep sort of looking into its little face and deciding how you want him to be. I'm actually thinking he's got one bigger ear than the other. That's not a problem. I can cut into it, or I could build the other side up. I could take some of these fibres back out. So there he is, he's starting to come to life. And you just carry on working into him, felting, trimming, as you feel fit. So what I'm doing here is I'm using my needle and I'm just kind of radiating out from the eyes in this sort of motion just to open up the bear and just to sort of knot those fibres together so they're less woolly. The muzzle area, to make him less dog-like, I've added the wool fibre just because I didn't have wool. I wasn't using a natural wool, so it wasn't felting. And I've just kind of made that into a round circle just to give him a very round muzzle to make him look a little bit more like a bear. His ears were just, all the long tufts were pulled out and were just needle felted, and then the outer edge I just curled back in to try and give that roundness. So really all I'm doing now is just needle felting away from that muzzle just to lock some of the fibres away, and then I'll give him another little trim, and hopefully that'll take us to the final stage of where he is. But as I said before, you just keep on seeing different little characters coming through, and you either work with that or you decide, I think that's it, we'll call it a day. And you might look at him in the light of day and then decide, oh, I'm going to change him again. So yeah, that's the magic of pom-poms. So I'm going to just nip away with my scissors until he looks something like, and then I will show you the final results. So that's the end of the Teddy Bear Pom Pom tutorial. I hope you've really enjoyed it. Here's Daddy Bear. He says yes. He's enjoyed it. Be warned, if you start these, they're highly addictive and you can just keep on poking and prodding and snipping, and it's endless. Baby Bear could become a cute little badge. You could have them as pom-poms on hats, obviously. You could, I was thinking these could even work as bags. If you start to string them together, you could start to create a bag if they were for like sizes. It's endless a possibility. Subscribe button if you want to hear when more content's available and all the mad crazy ideas that I've got for my pom-poms. Thank you for joining me. Please share the videos and I'll look forward to seeing you shortly with more pom-poms.